Hello and welcome to Friday the 13th's Masterclass edition of Cracking the Cryptic, and it's definitely unlucky for some, including me, although I have to say, I sort of relish doing a battle, or having a battle with a very difficult times crossword, and this puzzle, the snitch rating is off the scale. It is the hardest puzzle for well over a year, apparently, let's just click on the stats. This may... I mean, this is comical. So Solver52 is a typist. Definitely, indisputably. This is the first time it's over 10 minutes. And that's Matthew Marcus, who won the Times Crossword Championship last year. Andrew Fisher next, 11 minutes 46. These are people whose average times would be sort of 5-6 minutes-ish. So if it's taking them basically twice as long as they normally... And look at the spread. After the fourth position is 18 minutes, is in fifth place. This is going to be an absolute beast. Which is... The only thing about that is that I'm under the weather today. I'm coming down with something. I'm manfully resisting it. No jokes. Yeah, so I'm going to have to see how I get on with this one. Look, oh, okay, wow, I think PNMCG might be Colin Thomas. If that's true, what an I mean, there's an error, but 4 minutes with an error is incredible. Wow. Okay, so is there anything else I needed to tell you before we kick? Oh, I have got my dictionary. My computer, for some reason, turned itself off overnight. I don't like it when it does that, because all the things I have open, they all move about on the screen when you turn the computer back on. So, anything else to say? No, just that I will try and talk through my thought processes, such as they are, as we go through. Oh, and do check out our Patreon as well, where Mark, in fact, has got a solve of Colin Thomas's, because Colin Thomas constructs under the pseudonym of Twin, and there was a Guardian puzzle recently, which is an absolute work of genius, that Mark has solved on Patreon, so you might enjoy that if you enjoy our cryptic crossword content. But with that said and done, let's get cracking. Let's have a go at this monster. Hopefully it's in the right position on the screen. Yeah, here we go. One across. Sailor, half frozen, stumped by sub-zero conditions. Okay, I haven't got a clue what this is. Couple of things to mention, which I mention at the start of all of these masterclass videos. All cryptic crossword clues, if we can read them correctly, they all contain a quick crossword definition of the answer. So somewhere in this collection of gibberish, there is a quick crossword definition to the answer that goes in at one across. It's normally at the start or end of the clue, so sailor would be an interesting 4-5 for a sailor. Actually, Jack is a sailor. Is this Jack Frost? I've got this, Jack Frost. I've just lucked into that. Sub-zero conditions is obviously the definition. Which is an interesting definition, isn't it? Because Jack Frost, when I think of Jack Frost, it's as a character. But I suppose it's a character that personifies sub-zero conditions. So how does it work? Well, sailor is a jack. That's just an old word for somebody who sails. Half of the word, frozen, let's take the first half. And if you're stumped in cricket... And that's where when I started to talk about the clue, that was the only bit of the clue I thought was going to... I understood. I thought, I know ST can be abbreviation for stumped on cricket scorecards. Let's have a look. All abbreviations have to be supported by the dictionary. So, it probably will be here. Oh. No, it must be here. I am astonished if it's not there. It's definitely illegitimate. Oh, that's weird. Okay, that must be in... I mean, I wouldn't have even thought to look that up. I very nearly didn't. It's so... I mean, okay, is S there as stumped? Let's have a look. I'm genuinely nonplussed by that. That is really weird. I might be missing it. I'm sort of... No, ST is stumped in cricket. I don't know why it's not in my dictionary. And I've just said it's meant to be supported by the dictionary, but it really is. I mean, it is a valid abbreviation, so I don't understand why it's not there. I'm sure I've seen it there before. But anyway, this is a great start. And look at this. We've got a J. And whenever you see a J in a cryptic crossword, always be thinking, oh, could this be a pangram? So we'll be on the lookout for that. Judge can be abbreviated to J. So judge in court, keeping legatee's case cordial. Oh, goodness. This is going to be some weird name for like a syrup drink. Like you get... Is it a mint julep or something? Justice. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's that. But that is I'm slightly guessing on this letter. So the way I think this works is a very cleverly worded clue, because the word cordial in the clue appears to refer to the fact that the judge is, presiding over a trial where the legatee's case could get a bit fractious, but the judge keeps it all cordial and on good terms. Or of course, cordial has another meaning. If you drunk a lime cordial, it would be like a lime squash drink. And I think that's what's happening here. So how does it work? Well, we've got some collection of... We've got some sort of... Oh, yeah, no, I've got it. It is definitely you. Right. Judge is J. If you're in court for an offence, you're up. You're up before the beak. You're going to be tried. So in court is up. So we've got J and up. Keeping, surrounding, encircling the case of the word legatee. And the case of the word is its first and last letters, the sort of edges of the word, and that does give us julep. So now I feel it's legitimate to look up julep because I'm not changing it. A sweet drink, often medicated, an American drink of spirits, sugar, ice, and mint. See, I've heard of mint julep. Sounds quite nice, actually. It sounds like it would be good for my cold. Anyway, let's move on. Now, where should we go? Should we go for the long... Let's go for the long F answer. Playing with wind, trio flautist out of time. Okay. I think I understand this. I haven't got it yet. Can I get it, is the question. To be something like flirtation or something. I don't think it is. But the way I read the clue, again, one side of the clue has to be the definition. So here it's going to be playing or playing with. Or the other side of the clue could be time or even out of time. But I know that time has a very common abbreviation in cryptic crosswords, and that is T. That's from sort of Newtonian laws of motion, V equals U plus AT, things like that. So if we read wind here differently, obviously again the clue writer is trying to make us read this word wind in the context of a flautist, and we know that the flute is a wind instrument, so we pronounce it wind. If I read it differently and say playing with, and then we imagine there's a cut-off in the clue. So playing with is the definition. And then we wind the letters trio flautist, which are 12 letters, and we take out T for time because we're out of time. Then we would have 11 letters, and we've been told we need to anagram them because if you wind something, you sort of move it around. Then we've got the correct number of letters for the anagram fodder. So what we need is an anagram of Rio flautist, beginning with F, and it means playing with. Playing with, and the answer is... Oh, I don't know. That's so annoying. Oh, naughty brain. No, that's really annoying because I think I've done all the hard work with that one. I just can't see the anagram. Right, let's have a look at 2 down. Smart chap. Whenever I see something like smart chap in a crossword, I always think of Alec, because you get a smart Alec, don't you? Smart chap holding hat raised. Well, it probably is something like that then. Is mark of a soft-spoken character. So is this Cedilla or something like that? Yeah, it is Cedilla. Okay, so how do we get this? Obviously, we were on a huge winner by thinking smart chap might be Alec. And then we saw holding hat. Well, a lid is a hat. It's a sort of colloquial term for a hat. So we have Alec. If we read from the bottom, we've got Alec holding lid, and that's all raised. You see the word raised in the clue. Now, in a down clue, the word raised can be a reversal indicator. So we've got smart chap, Alec, holding lid, all raised, and that gives us, so is doing the duty of an equal sign. If we read the clues as equations, you've sort of got the first bit equals mark of a soft-spoken character. Well, the Spanish accent, the Cedilla, must do that. I didn't know it did that, but apparently it does. Now, in fact, let's look at the dictionary. The dictionary will tell us exactly how it works. A mark, originally a subscript Z, placed under a letter, formerly used in Spanish to indicate that the letter had the sound of Spanish, whatever that is it? Where that of K would be expected. Does it have an example? No. Okay, well anyway, that's good. Let's try this. Is this pal? Yeah. Edge chipped off delicate. China. I say yes, it's definitely pal, because I know that China is a euphemistic term for a friend. My old China, you might say. Well, you might not, but in the olden days you might have said it. So I'm sure the answer is pal. I haven't quite worked out why. Edge chipped off delicate. Is it pale? If you're pale, are you delicate? I think you might be in the sense of a colour. It had a delicate shade of orange. It had a pale orange colour. And then you would chip off the edge of the word pale to get pal. That would be my best guess. I'm certainly not changing pal. Let's see if pale does mean delicate. It's not whitish. Pale has a few other meanings. No, it won't be that one. It's got a lot of other meanings. Let's not grab delicate. Maybe I've got the wrong shortening there. Not robust. Pale. No, it is there. There it is. Okay, so that's good and justified. So 9 across. I want this to be ladette for some reason. One reluctant to... Oh, Luddite is what it'll be. One reluctant to change. Light in the kitchen is ringing friend endlessly. I've heard of a lunette. I think this is... Oh, Buddy. Light. Okay. I'm not I think I understand this, but I'm not sure. I think one reluctant to change is a Luddite. Somebody who resists new technology. Light in the kitchen, Lite. Is Bakelite a thing? Like I think in the kitchen. Oh, I see. I'm not very good. It won't surprise anybody who knows me. I am the most useless creature. I mean, let's just leave it there. I am the most useless creature. So my knowledge of things to do with any form of cookery, it's not great. It's not great practically. I only know things from doing crosswords. So I think Bakelite might be a thing, and light in that word is spelled Lite. So I think that might be what it's getting there, is sort of a form of light that you might find in the kitchen, and then that rings, it surrounds, I think, friend endlessly. The word buddy would be a word for a friend, and if we take the ends off that word, we just get UDD. So that would be my best guess as to how that breaks down. Is this Oberon? No. Overdue, this will be. Go too far with party in the wake of several... Yeah, if you overdo something, you go too far, don't you? And a party is a do, and that's in the wake of, so it goes after several balls. Well, several balls in cricket, 6 balls exactly in cricket, is an over. So over comes up. In fact, there's so many cricket references. It must be very difficult if you have no knowledge of cricket to really get into cryptic crosswords, because there must be at least one either direct or tangential reference to cricket in every single crossword. And we've already had stumped today and over, and we've only done a few clues. Right, let's try 5 down. St Anton native. Well, I have been to St Anton once on a ski trip. It was in Austria, so I'm wondering if this is something like Tyrolean. That would be very lucky if that's right. Has to limit year on slope. Oh, that's lovely. It's beautifully worded. It's right. Tyrolean. Okay, that's just very lucky because I've been there. So I know roughly where I'm thinking about in terms of the world. So has is doing the duty of the equals here. So St Anton native perhaps is the definition. Tyrolean. And that's created, or has is being used as sort of as an instruction. You have the word to, limiting, surrounding, an abbreviation for year, YR, and that all goes on top of a word for slope, lean, Tyrolean. Let's try 10 across. Heading west. Okay, so that's going to be a reversal indicator. If we think about that in an across clue, if we'd normally write left to right, wouldn't we? We'd normally write from west to east. So if we're going to send something west, we're going to reverse it. Sailors leading series of races. Regatta in Uruguay's River Plate. Oh my goodness. If I have to know something about the geography of Uruguay, I thought River Plate were a football team. Sailors leading series of races in Uruguay's River Plate. Maybe this means plate. If it means plate, what could it be? Risotto or something? Like a dish. Risotto has TT in it. And I think series of races is if you have a motor racing TT or motorcycling TT. Is it a series of races? But there's no... if I have to know the name of a river in Uruguay, that's not going to be good. I'm going to put in risotto because it's got TT in it and think about that for a moment. Heading west. Oh, no. What about Rio? Oh, Uruguay's river is Rio. Risotto is right. Good grief. I mean, this is a great example of how cryptic clues can be absolutely terrifying, and yet once you understand them, they become tractable. So, I mean, this is so torturous. This wordplay is brilliant. We have an abbreviation for a sailor heading west. Now, this is horribly difficult if you're new to cryptic crosswords, because sailor, not only are there short synonyms for sailors, like the word tar. Every nice girl likes a sailor, every nice girl loves a tar, or something from the old song. Yeah. Anyway, that's one. So tar, short synonym. We could reverse it. So tar, if you see sailor, you have to think about tar. AB comes up all the time, and that is a shortening of able seaman. Let's see, or able-bodied. There we go. Now this one, OS, I think is ordinary seaman or old salt or something. It's something like that. Let's go back, have a look. But it's definitely ordinary seaman. There it is. So OS as well. So we've got sailor, OS, heading westward, reversed, giving us SO. Series of races, double T for a TT. That goes in a word that Uruguay would use for a river, which must be Rio. And that all gives us a plate, but it's not River Plate. It's nothing to do with Uruguay. It's simply the name of a dish, being risotto. And the way we got that was thinking, oh, could a series of races be a TT? And then trying to construct a word. The other word that would come up would be regatta. But anyway, we've lucked into it. We've got it right. So 12 across. Tiddlywinks, game. Twin, it must be Tiddlywink. I don't know why, but it fits, and it's got some weird collection of twin kids in it. Yeah, I mean, let's just put in Tiddlywinks and see if we can understand it. Now, is Tiddlywinks spelt like that? Well, yes, we know it is because of this word delay on a regular basis. So we come up with it. There's something like this every week. When you see phrases like on a regular basis, or oddly, or evenly, or, you know, what it's saying is take the regularly occurring letters out of a string. So if we look at the word delay, and we take the odd numbered letters, the letters that are in positions 1, 3, and 5, you can see we would get D, L, and Y. That's this D, this L, and this Y. And what we've got is an anagram of twin kids. The letters of twin kids play, so they sort of do a little dance on the outside of DLY, and that gives us Tiddlywinks, which is obviously a game. So let's go back here. Oh, I thought this was flirtation. It now still looks like something like that. Playing with. Oh, flirtatious then, maybe. Yeah, maybe flirtatious. Flirtatious. Does that look like it's got the right letters? We had to take out one T, didn't we? Oh, hang on. No. Oh, yeah, okay, that's okay. There are 3 T's in trio flautist. So I take one out, I'm still allowed to have 2. So flirtatious might be right. I mean, if you're more diligent than me, you would sort of write it out on paper and check the anagram if you were worried. But I think it feels right. Now we've got a W at the start of 13 down. Let's go over there. Learner leaving 2-barreled shotgun in the outback. Learner leaving 2-barreled. I mean, this is just a beauty. I don't know the answer yet, but I know how it works. It's so well worded. Good grief, this is clever. Right, so what you have to know here is that if you see an L plate on a car, you'd know it meant learner driver. So learner can be L. It comes up all the time. And so L leaves the word 2-barreled, or that 2-barreled phrase. Now if it does, how many letters are we left with? And I'm guessing we're left with 11. I haven't checked it, but that feels right to me. And we are. And then those letters of 2-barreled without one of the L's are shot. So they're boom, they're sort of exploded. And that's going to give us a phrase, 5-6, for gun in the outback. Now I don't know what this is yet, but my first thought there is this could be a word for to accelerate. If you gun an engine, you rev it. So it could be the name of a real gun. I'm not very knowledgeable about oh, see, I'm not going to know this. Is it going to be hang on, let me just look at these letters for a second or two. There's got to be a B in here somewhere. What's that going to be? Gun in the outback. Water? A water? Water something. Why is my phone going at me? Let me just see. That's nothing important. Right, let's try 6 down. Don't know what that one is. Socialist shortly gets up and leaves. I want this to mean leaves. And that means, obviously, it could mean something like tea leaves rather than just goes. Socialist. Oh, it is. Okay, this is actually not too difficult a clue. Socialist. If we think of an abbreviation for socialist, now this is tricky because I didn't know this was an abbreviation for socialist, but if we were guessing if there was a valid abbreviation of the word socialist, what might it be? Well, it'd probably be SOC, wouldn't it? Well, I think it is SOC because if we shorten the word socialist to SOC and we reverse it because those letters get up, we would get cos. And cos is a type of lettuce, which basically are leaves. So I think that's cos. Let's just see if socialist is in there. Yeah, there it is. So it is. If you see references to socialism or socialist, there are other things that come up. So shay sometimes, red, Mao, 3 short synonyms for sort of... Oh, my phone is going nuts. It's WhatsApp. Does everyone else's WhatsApp just buzz at them all the time? 6 across. Putting down my name. Sign for holiday place in Italy. Okay, is this going to be something like Capri? It's beautifully worded. This is such a high class puzzle. This is Capri. The reason it's Capri, well, see if you can work it out. So I'm going to explain some of the elements of the clue to you, and then see if you can work out why. So, the definition here is holiday place in Italy. And the answer we've said is Capri. 4 is doing the duty of an equal sign. So that means that to make the words or letters Capri, we have to use the phrase, putting down my name sign. So how could that be? And what you have to realise is it's talking here about a star sign, Capricorn. And if the word Capricorn puts down if you said my goodness, it would be an exclamation. My is a euphemism for sort of wow, isn't it? Or core, blimey. So core, C-O-R, is synonymous with my, and name can be abbreviated to N. So core and N are taken out of Capricorn to leave Capri, which is the holiday place. It's beautiful. It's really, really cleverly worded. Now, let's not look, but so is this potency? Oh, one may be found in bed. It's going to be the name. Oh, petunia then. It's probably the name of a flower. Knocking back excellent fruitcake after workout. Yeah, okay. If you work out, you do physical education, PE. And then after PE, we're going to knock back excellent. If something is A1, it's excellent. And fruitcake is a word for a lunatic or a nut. So petunia goes in. One may be found in bed, as in a garden flower. Now, what's this going to be? Ironside. It's just going to be I've just been guessing a lot of these from the checking letter. Cromwell's cavalry. Ironsides, aren't they? That is what they were called. I'm sure it is. So why? Mounted men breaking guts. Insides. So insides are your guts. And mounted men is not referring to men on horseback. It's an abbreviation for soldiers, believe it or not. OR comes up all the time. Other ranks, I think, is what it stands for. There are loads of short abbreviations for soldiers that are... I mean, it is one of the barriers to entry. Other ranks, there it is. If you're going to try and improve at cryptic crosswords, because you have to start to, when you see men or any reference to soldiering or armies, you have to be familiar with so many short abbreviations. So let me give you some of them. OR, we've just seen. RE, the Royal Engineers. RA, the Royal Artillery. I mean, as well as things like RAF for the Air Force. RN for the Navy. I'm trying to think if there are any other. All of these could be soldiers. If you see American soldiers, GI. Anyway, that just gives you it's a bit like doctor. You know, if you see doctor, GP, DR, MO, MB, I think also sometimes, or certainly MD. Anyway, there's just lots of abbreviations that could come up, but at least we've got the answer there. We didn't know what this was, did we? Let's try 15. I've been so lucky with getting the starting letters for these clues so far. 15 across. One keeps back. Shock career. Not allowed to be spoken about. Okay. I have got this. Oh no, maybe I haven't. I know the end of it. If something... Okay, let's look at this phrase. To be spoken about. Comes up all the time. It might be phrased as we hear or one caught, because if you catch something, you hear it. And what it's hinting at is that we need a homophone. We need a word that means not allowed. And in this case, that's the word banned. B-A-N-N-E-D. If something is banned, it's not allowed. But how could we spell banned differently and make it sound the same? Well, this word. Banned. That sounds exactly the same as B-A-N-N-E-D, doesn't it? So I thought initially this was hairband. One keeps back shock, because you get a shock of hair. But then if that... Oh, well, career... Oh, yeah, okay. So if you career somewhere, you run there really fast, don't you? And that would be hair, as in H-A-R-E. And that sounds exactly the same as H-A-I-R. So I think this is hairbands. But I didn't understand the start of it initially. So one keeps back shock. I mean, let's just look at this clue again and read it without thinking about it. One keeps back shock career, not allowed to be spoken about. It seems to have nothing to do with a hairband, does it, at first glance? And yet once you sort of deconstruct it, that's all it can be. One keeps back shock, so something that keeps back or controls your hair. Career, H-A-R-E. Not allowed, B-A-N-N-E-D. All sounds the same as hairband. So what's this then? Oh, it's not water. What? Oh, in fact, oh, world. Is it world something? Gun in the outback. A world. I want to say world beater, but could it be world beater? I'm very unsure about that, but I think the anagram fodder feels about right, again, without checking it. Why is a world beater a gun in the outback? I don't know. That might just be... It might be an Australian term for, I don't know, a gun or a I don't know. I mean, the Australians, they have some strange expressions for things. I think I'll put world beater in on the basis it fits the anagram fodder and it's a phrase I've heard. And we'll see if we can justify it with the checking letters. So let's have a look at 19 across. Fizzy drink overflowing in round dish. Fizzy drink overflowing in round dish. Oh dear. My only thought here is, could this be Adonis? I really hope that thought has surprised some of you. And the reason that I'm thinking about that is a dish is a phrase for somebody very good looking, and that could be an Adonis. Was it the great Sid Waddell? He described somebody, I want to say Jockey, it can't have been Jockey Wilson. Maybe it was Bob Anderson as a bronzed Adonis. No, that's not what he said. He said something like, he's not a Adonis, he's the Adonis. Which, if you're a Cryptic crossword fan, is just hilarious. Because it's sort of punning on the difference between the indefinite and the definite article. He's not a Adonis. Oh, Sid Waddell. Oh. Now. Oh, that's got me going now. What was it he said? He said something like, Alexander of... Was it? Oh, it was something about... Was it... Alexander the Great cried salt tears at the age of 31 because there were no more worlds left to conquer. Bristow's only 27. No, I've got to stop. Sorry. Right, okay. Why is this Adonis? Let's put Adonis in and see if there's any possible justification for it. Fizzy drink. Overflow. Fizzy drink. Soda. Ah! Yeah. Soda overflowing in this in here. So soda surrounds in, and then it all just is turned round. That is so clever. Fizzy drink overflowing in round dish. That is a brilliancy. It's a brilliant clue. I'd never have solved that cold. The fact I got this D is absolutely critical. Right, let's try 20 down. Area right between west end of nave and entrance. You notice how I said entrance there. That is because I am incapable of reading the word entrance in Cryptic crossword clues as entrance. It might mean entrance, but I'm so familiar with the fact that entrance can be read as entrance, I always try and read it the other way. Area right, so AR. Area can be abbreviated to A, right to R. So AR between west end of nave. The west end of nave is N. Oh, no, okay, that's going to be wrong. I've got to come... firstly, we've got to decide what side of the clue is the definition. Is it area, or is it entrance or entrance? I don't know, actually. Area. Or... I'm almost wondering whether this could be an and lit, if I could think of, i.e. the whole clue does the duty. Something like, I mean, I don't think there is a word for this, but let's say if there was a word Nargate. Let me just explain what I'm thinking there. It's Margate. Down to Margate. We've got Chaz and Dave going on in my head now. That's not good. Right, 20 down. If the whole clue had to be read as wordplay and the whole clue acted as a definition, so say there was a part of a church called the Nargate. I've never heard of it if there is, but let's say there is. How would I justify it? Well, A and R go between the west end of the nave. Well, the west end of the word nave is the N. It's the bit on that most side of it, isn't it? And then entrance could be a gate, so maybe Nardor would equally work. Or entrance, or maybe it's a different... We take the entrance meaning, so if you entrance, you bewitch, you hex, you... There is some word like that. I've seen this word recently. There's some word... Narthex or something. That could work. Narthex. If right was RT rather than just R, Narthex might be right. Giving us an X in my pangram. Is that, if this X is justified, I'm so pleased with this, because this is a new word to me. I think I saw it in, was it in the concise, the jumbo concise last weekend? I've seen it recently, and the only way I could have seen this word and noticed it as a new word I didn't know is in a crossword. So I think this has been in some sort of Times crossword recently. And I mean, it's a brilliant clue again, isn't it? It's a brilliant clue, because I mean, presuming if it's right, and the narthex part of a church is between the west end of the nave and the entrance to the church, it's unbelievable. All right, anyway, let's try this one. Shorter of two chords from Iron Maiden hit is on American guitar. American guitar would be an axe. Oh, something axis then. Yeah, this must be right. Okay, so I now like narthex. This is axis. The shorter of two chords. It's trying to make you think of guitar chords, isn't it? So, you know, I have my guitar here. No, I shouldn't play anything on the guitar. Have I got anything to play you? Not really. Not really at the moment. I'm thinking of, what is it I've been learning to play? No. Terrible. Anyway, that's what I've been thinking about recently. Nothing to do with Iron Maiden, but shorter of two chords. It's trying to make us think of guitar chords or musical chords. But I think a chord can be a tangent to a circle, or not maybe a tangent, but if you have a circle and a line that cuts the circle, I think that is called a chord. So maybe the shorter chord is the inner axis, or the is on American guitar is, that's this word is on next to a word for an American guitar, which is an axe. So Iron Maiden hit. Oh dear. That's terrifying. I don't know enough about Iron Maiden. I mean, it might not be literally the name of an Iron Maiden hit. Iron might be the chemical element iron, which is Fe. Maiden can be abbreviated to M. Femur axis or something. Hit. Oh dear, this might be the reason that all cryptic crossword solvers have just had a big mare with this crossword, because cryptic crossword solvers and Iron Maiden hits, if they're in a Venn diagram together, there isn't a massive overlap. Let's see if we can back into this. Let's see if narthex can be better justified. 23. It's time for stag do on river. Okay, I think this is rut. I think it's time for stag is the definition. Because isn't that something that stags have a time when they rut? And then do on river. I mean, this is outrageous if this is right, but I think river can be abbreviated to R, and ut, I think, I've not seen this in the Times crossword for a long time. if I'm right about this, but I think ut is a musical note equivalent to do in some. It'll say something like in the anglicised sol-fa scale or something. Am I prepared to look this up? No, I'm not. I'm going to look at 24 down. Totally casual kicks hampering tango. Totally casual kicks hampering tango. So that conjures up an image. That would be how I would dance the tango, with my totally casually kicking legs. Totally casual kicks. Hampering what? Totally casual kicks hampering tango. Is this something like, this is a phrase my sister uses, totes. If something's totes something, it's totally that thing. And if that was right, I could justify it from the wordplay by saying a casual kick might be a toe, as in like a toe poke. And that's hampering, it's surrounding T for tango. That's from the sort of international radio alphabet. Something's totes that. I quite like that. That would justify rut, which now makes me think it's safe to look up UT. And now it won't even be there. No, okay, it is there. A syllable representing the first note of the scale, now generally superseded by do, which is D-O-H, but do can be spelled D-O. Let's look at that. Yeah, there you go. Do or do. I mean, that's very difficult in a Times crossword, but I think we've already established that this puzzle is quite difficult. So what's this then? Something shot. Casual firing range warning. Hot shot. Casual firing range warning. Casual. Firing range warning. It's something shot, isn't it? I just don't know what. Casual. If something is casual, it's... Oh, this is so bad. How can I get like answers like narthex, and then I've basically got 5 of the letters, the 7 letters. I don't know what this is. Pot shot. Casual. Casual firing would be a pot shot. Range. Oh God, this is ridiculous. This is a ridiculous puzzle. It's literally so clever, it's just not true. Right, it's pot shot is the answer. Why? Because casual firing, if you take a casual shot, fire your gun at something casually, you'd be taking a pot shot. So that's the definition. Range warning. Well, a range in the kitchen, you get a range in the kitchen, which is the oven. So a warning around an oven might be the pot's hot. Careful of the pot, it's really hot. Pot's hot. So that's the answer. Pot shot. Now we'll try 21 down. Moderate results from having booster jab study. Moderate results from having booster jab study. Moderate results from having booster jab. If you had a booster jab, you would sicken less often, wouldn't you? You would have... I think this means study, probably. I keep thinking of inner axis for this one, but let's see if... 16 down, no, we can't look at that. I've got nothing in it. Let's look at 22 across. Nothing like a century to reverse form. Nothing like, not a sausage. I don't know if that's right. I have no idea why. Let's just put it in and see if we can justify it. Not a sausage. So nothing is literally defining not a sausage. So we cut it after the word nothing. Like a century. If something is like something, it's as it. As a century to reverse form. Oh, ton could be a century. Oh, I see. Yeah, as a ton. God, this is so difficult. I mean, when I say so difficult, I mean that in the most, as the highest compliment. It's the highest compliment. I'm not saying this is so difficult in a sort of exasperated and unhappy way. I would love to do puzzles of this quality every day of the week. The fact is, the fact that we don't get them is because they are so hard to make. This is just genius setting. It really is. Right, so nothing is the definition. Like a century is as a ton. If something is like something, it's as, as it, isn't it? As a. So like, as, a is a. Century is a synonym for 100 or a ton. So as a ton reverses, and form is usage. Yeah, which is correct. That's just right. So that gives us not a sausage. And so maybe we have to look at 14 across. One skill in quiz crystal clear. Quiz makes me think of the crystal maze for some reason. One's skill, one art, is that? In quiz. Quartz. Crystal clear. It must be quartz. I don't quite know why. It's got to go because there's a Q as well. And a Z. Okay, so this is definitely a pangram. Art is skill. Oh gosh, no, that's beautiful. It's beautiful again. One skill. It's a substitution. So it's saying, look at the word quiz. Now, in the word quiz, the one or the I is going to become one is skill. So in the word quiz, we're going to replace the I with a word for skill, which is art, to give quartz, which is crystal clear. Isn't that beautiful? So what's this? Queen something? Squeeze into tank, having larger dimensions than usual. Queen size or something? It could be that. It's just an anagram. If the letters tank, if something tanks, it goes to pot, doesn't it? So that could be an anagram indicator. So I think it's an anagram of squeeze in. That's almost a clue you could start the puzzle with. Because I think I've done a lot of. I'm really proud to have got this part of the grid done at all. And if we'd started there, we might have been in better shape. But let's try. I get all these starting letters now. Let's try this one. Stick around outside public house. Public house is often PH. It's a valid abbreviation. Or I can be transported. Oh, so if it had PH in the middle of it. Stick around outside. You see, if it was outside PH and that word or, euphoric or something. Q, that's right. Absolutely right. So, okay, I've lucked into this one as well, frankly, because of getting the E at the start and thinking of PH. But outside public house can be PH, or I is literally the word or and the letter I. And we put a stick around that. Now, a stick in the game of snooker or pool is a Q. And that reverses, because it turns around on the outside of PH or I to give euphoric. and can be, if you like, is doing the duty of the equal sign. And a word for, if you're transported, you're sort of enraptured, you are euphoric. And that gives us a P at the start of this one. One aiming to sell diamond surrounds this sportsman. Picture? Yeah, that's actually relatively straightforward. For the American audience watching, that will seem remarkably straightforward. One aiming to sell, if you're aiming to sell something, you're pitching it to somebody. And the diamond, well, if you've ever watched baseball, you will know that there is a diamond. And the diamond surrounds the pitcher who throws the baseball at the batter. So that's a sort of double definition. And we could look at this one, the in-house maybe? Oh. Inches in front of drone anew. Inhuman? Yeah. Inches can be IN. That goes in front of, if you hear a droning sound, it hums. A new, N can be abbreviated to an abbreviation for new. That gives inhuman. And if something is animal, it's inhuman. It's sort of brutal, isn't it? So now we could get 26 down. Part of spring vegetable uprooted. The part of the year, part of spring in terms of the year would be the month of May. And a vegetable is a yam, and that has been uprooted. Daughter leaving very much in advance. It must be early. Yes, dearly. D can be abbreviated, an abbreviation for daughter. That leaves very much. If something costs very much, it's dearly, it's expensive. And something in advance is early. Let's try 16 down. Consume uranium in energy plant. It's going to be the name of another, plant, I think. Like a garden plant. Consume uranium in energy. Plant. Oh, actually, I'm not sure about this. And this is bad, because if I can't get this, I've got this across one that I don't know. I thought inner, no, that can't be inner axis. This would end in I. Oh dear, okay, this might be what's causing everyone the trouble. So 16 down. Consume uranium in energy. I mean, uranium must be that, mustn't it? That is the chemical symbol for the element uranium. In energy, energy can be E, as in E equals mc squared, but I don't see how we put E at the start of this answer. Ah, no. Well, how does that work? I'm wondering if uranium in energy could be I like that. But then I don't understand the structure, the grammar of the clue. Consume. Uranium in energy. You see that there has to be a definition. We've talked about that. And unless it's another and lit. Imagine, okay, let's imagine. Consume. I'm not sure it works actually. Consume uranium in energy plant. I'm wondering if there's any way I can read these words as saying put U-I-N-E in a word for a plant, and then the whole thing means to consume uranium in an energy plant, sort of do nuclear fission or fusion or something. I don't think it works though, because that's not quite saying that, is it? It's consume U in E. It would have to be consuming U in E plant, because the plant would have to be consuming the U in and the E. No, so I'm not sure I like that idea. Can I think of any word that fits? That might help me. To consume is to... Gosh, this is tricky actually. Or maybe I have to go back to that one. 21. Dampen would be to moderate. Result. Oh, I see. Oh goodness, this is genius. This is an absolute genius puzzle. Right. It is moderate. So if you moderate something, you dampen it. You moderate your expectations, you'd calm them down, you'd dampen them. And that results from, so it equals, results from is doing the duty of equals, having booster. If you boost a booster to something as an amp, if I boosted the volume of my guitar, it would, I'd amp it up, wouldn't I? Jabbing, jabbing means it goes in it. Literally, it jabs it. You put it inside a word for a study, which is a den. So amp, booster, is jabbing, is inside den, to give dampen, which means moderate. So inner axis again, or lunar axis or something. No, it can't be lunar. Shorter of 2 chords. Oh, minor. Oh, I like minor. The minor axis, rather. Yeah, that's going to be right. Oh, this could be something like laburnum or something. Okay, I don't understand that. Let's have a think. Minor axis. Shorter of 2 chords. Oh, yeah. Right. Iron. That's brilliant. It's brilliant. Iron is literally the word iron. Maiden can be abbreviated to M, so we have the letters I-R-O-N and M, and they are hit. They are anagrammed to give minor. And we've talked about why axis works. So minor axis is right. Now, is this how you spell laburnum? I'm not very good at plants, but there is a plant called a laburnum. I don't know if it's spelled like that. If there was, why is this right? Consume. Oh, consume. If something consumes you, doesn't it burn? If you have a burning passion for something, it would consume you. So maybe burn you for uranium in energy. Oh no, vim. Viburnum. That could be it. Oh, this letter is going to be the problem. Oh dear. Okay. I'm going to get this wrong, I think. I don't know if there is a plant called a viburnum. Oh, bother. Right. What else could this be then? So, I think the way the structure of this clue breaks down is I need to consume 4 letters, blank U, blank N. To consume is to... don't know. I mean, I still quite like burn, but I'm just conscious that it could be... if I don't know the name of the plant, it could easily be wrong. So my thought was, if to burn is to consume, I mean, burning is consuming. That's literally what fire does. So burn you. Then I have to find a 3-letter word for energy that's blank IM. That must be vim. Yeah, I'm going to go for that, I think, on the basis that I'm not sure I'll come up with anything I'm more persuaded by. What a puzzle. Well, let's look at... oh no, should I submit? No, I think I should submit first. I'll submit, and then if I've got it wrong, I'll feel bad. But oh, I got it right. Oh, that's good. Okay, so let's go and have a look at some of these. So narthex, let's look at that first. A western portico, which was something to do with where it was in the church, in an early Christian or Oriental church. A vestibule between the church porch, which would be the entrance to the church, and the nave. I mean, how do you do this? Who is this constructor, honestly? Who is this constructor? I feel, I have said it before, and I have said it to the powers that be. I really hope at some point that they abandon the policy at the Times of anonymity for the constructors, because whoever this is, I don't know if this is going to be somebody like Dean Mayer or I'm not sure, but this is just absolute genius, this puzzle. It's genius. It could be John. Now I think John Henderson was last week. It could be John Guyver, who I know has joined the roster. I'd love to know, just so that you can give props personally to this. This is a work of just absolute glory. Now let's look up viburnum. Viburnum, there it is. Any plant of the guelder rose or wayfaring tree genus. Now, was there anything else that I was unsure about? I looked up rut. Oh, my phone's buzzing. I can't deal with that yet. Oh, world beater. I didn't understand that at all. World beater. There it is. Yeah, that's what I thought it meant. A person who is supreme in its class. What was the definition there? It's something about Australia. Gun in the outback. A gun in the outback. Maybe a gun. Maybe in Australia, somebody who's, maybe they're the top gun or something. The gun. So maybe in Australia, the word gun means, oh no, there we go, an expert or champion, especially in shearing. So a gun, I think what it's saying is that a champion in Australia, in the outback, would be a world beater. So a gun, sorry, in Australia would be a world beater. That's very clever. This is, I mean, I cannot tell you how impressed I am with this. In fact, has it got 2 Z's in it? It's not a double pangram, is it? I think I only saw 1 Q. I'm not sure. I can't see another one. I might be wrong. Anyway, having been incredibly slow about that, let's have a quick go at the quick cryptic and see if we can redeem ourselves and not make a complete fool of ourselves for an hour in the video. So let's go. Let's get cracking on the quick cryptic. Force people to work here. Police station. A powerful alkali not ultimately found in a shop's potash. Sweet licorice, strong tipple on the rocks, licorice. Belittled chapter provided by each writer. Cheapen. It can be sad how unfortunately these MPs oppose the government shadow cabinet. A big range. Andes, I'll go for it. Somewhat directionless. Anger. Ire, probably. Hidden. Absentee. No-show. I'm going to go for that as well. Rocky Marciano consumes energy drink. What a brilliant clue. I don't know. No longer close. Match or for item of sleepwear. Nightie. Public transport that is run with busier. Shocked at first. Actors get heated after several takes. No idea. First class 11. Have I done 11? No. Curved line. I'm going to go for arc. Yeah, that's right. What's this then? Toque, isn't that a piece of headgear? I think that's an anagram. Speech, I'm going to give address there. Crops, what? Scorpio, house, that's vicious. Shako is a military cap. Yeah, that's going to be right. Innocence, presumably. Slight guess, but we're trying to consume, use up. The use of wiretaps bugging. I manage Iranian. I'm going to go for that. That could be wrong. I'm going now to pick up the centerpiece for Swish. Tiara. Rock. Oh no. Cause rock to the boat. Right. How many more? Oh, what on earth is that? America. Oh no. Americano, yeah. Oh, shocked, aghast. First class. 11 perhaps. Prime. Oh goodness, that was quick. That was quick for me. I guessed some of them. Oh, that must be quick. Third. I've been beaten. I've been absolutely lacerated by Matthew and by John McCabe. I mean, I didn't actually understand. When I say I didn't understand, I didn't stop to pass a lot of the clues there. I was sort of very confident about them without taking the time I would normally do to pass them. You can see I've still been absolutely... I've beaten Andrew Fisher, which I'm always proud of. He's a very, very good solver. But, you know, I'm not even close. Not even close to John there. I'm not really even close to Matthew. It's so sobering. It really is. Anyway, thank you so much. If you're still watching now, I really do appreciate it. I've managed to get through despite my my illnesses. Yeah, if you do enjoy the video, please drop a comment on. Let us know how you're getting on with your cryptic crossword solving. Try and teach the algorithm about these wonderful puzzles. What a puzzle that was today. I'm so thrilled to get to try that and to share that with you, because it is just wonderful. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.